Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Pugs and Stilettos. I am bringing to you today a DIY traveler's notebook. What you want to do first is start to look at the different types of cardstock that you may have available. You do want to start with a 12 by 12 sheet to be the cover of your actual journal. And then you want to look at the different patterns and colors that may go along with your cover. So we're going to start by making our cuts, and these are the measurements. I used a 10 by 3/4 wide cut as well as a 7 1/4 long cut. You're going to score at 5 3/8, 4 7/8, and 5 7/8. So I'm going to speed up the video a bit to show the cuts. Of course, you want to keep all of your scraps, and once you have done all your cuts, you're now going to round off your edges, and you'll go straight into scoring your paper according to the measurements that I shared. Now, I did use a Dollar Tree journal that I wanted to use for my traveler's notebook, so all these measurements can be adjusted to whatever type of journal you would like to use. So after scoring, you're going to make sure that you take your time to slightly bend some of these edges, and then we will be ready to do some decorating. So as you prepare and you bring out your laminating sheets, let's start looking at some of the items that you may want to add. I am doing this particular journal for my sister with a specific focus on bingo. She's an avid reader, and she's also a great teacher. So a lot of the items that I'm adding here, along with the washi tape with all those cute little books, I have her in mind. And generally when I do these journals, I do have someone in mind when I'm making them, and I will gladly show you other journals that I have had the opportunity to make. It kind of makes it easier when you do have someone in mind. So as we are embellishing and cutting and making sure that our washi tape is straight, we want to make sure that we also decorate and measure up and line up the inside. I use all kinds of ways to adhere my material. Sometimes I use a glue stick, I'll use the tape, whatever works, because this will be now laminated, so it'll kind of hold everything in place while it's being laminated. So as we're adding our finishing touches to the inside here, it's cool to kind of use contrasting colors. My sister is also an avid traveler, so definitely the first class and the media that has all of the anchors and the let's go traveling is definitely a perfect theme for her. So as we are ironing out any bubbles out of here with one of my little cards, I want to trim off any extra overhang and get this ready for the laminator. So as you continue to decorate, I just wanted to share that a lot of the material that I purchase, I go to Michael's, of course. Tuesday mornings is actually awesome. This is where I start to bring out my stickers, and Dollar Tree has also been quite a inspiration lately. They've had some really wonderful things, but when you go to stores like Tuesday mornings, you have to check out their clearance section. They have really a lot of wonderful decorative pieces, threads, cutouts, paper, cardstock. So I really recommend that if you do get a chance, check out clearances, I would say pretty much everywhere. You can get some really great inspirational pieces to make sure that your embellishments for whatever DIYs you are doing come out extra special. So adding some stickers, some themes here to the cover, and just trying to adhere them as quickly as possible. So once you are ready and you are happy with all of the decorations that you've done and the embellishments, you want to insert your creation into the laminating sheets, and once it's out, you want to make sure that you refold those edges, and now we have to cut and trim off all the excess. You don't want to go too close to the actual edging of the cardstock because you don't want the laminator, the plastic, to open up. So just leave yourself a nice little edge to kind of secure for wear and tear in the future. So once you have, make sure that all the cuts are done to your liking. Now you want to make sure that you get your hole puncher, and on each one of the creases that you put in, top and bottom, you want to make sure that you poke a 1/8 inch little hole, because this is where we are going to string the elastic to hold the journals and folders and all the goodies for our traveler's notebook. So I'm going to speed up this video so that we can see how all the holes are made, including the one that goes right in the center to hold the journal closed. So now here comes the part where we're going to weave through the elastic. This is an elastic that I purchased from Joann's. It is a black elastic. I usually start from the outside of the journal in, making sure that I add any embellishments that I would like, just like the tassel that you're seeing that I'm adding now. I just like to make it a part of the loops as I am weaving them through the covers, making sure that all of the elastics that run across are on the inside of the journal, so I can facilitate holding all of your goodies inside of your journal, like your calendars, folders, and all of those goodies that go in our traveler's notebooks. Another thing that I also use is a weaving needle. Sometimes, especially with my long nails, it's kind of hard to weave and push these elastics through these little 1/8 holes. So I do use a weaving needle. I do put some tape on the tips of the elastic so that I can kind of flatten them out and put them through. So once you make sure that your elastic is tied nicely, make sure you do 2 good knots. Try not to make them too tight because you want to leave enough space to hold your journals and all of the folders and pockets that you're going to end up putting in your journal. Don't forget to put embellishments also on the tie that's going to hold the journal closed. Like here I have a little kind of like a charm that says divine, and I thought it would be a nice touch to add to the journal to personalize it. Just make sure that you give it a test run first. Make sure the elastic isn't too short or too tight, and wiggle it through, test it out, stretch it over to see how it closes. So remember, when you add your journals and your folders, it's going to expand, so you have to allot for some space for expansion. Make sure that you cut your excess threads of the elastic as well. And now that all the elastics are nicely cut and ready to go, it is time to add one of our Dollar Tree journals into our new creation. I got a nice brown one. These are just $1 from the dollar store, so I recommend that you do use and create your journals according to the measurements of journals that you can find pretty much anywhere. So this way you can reuse your covers depending on the mood or the season, or for whomever it is that you're making it for. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and please give me a thumbs up, and I would love to hear your comments.